Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. You know, ever since Jocelyn Jacks got pulled into this nightmare on General Hospital, I haven't been able to stop thinking about her. That girl has been fighting with everything she's got, and watching her try to claw her way out of Cassius Faison's grip has had me sitting on the edge of my seat, cheering her on like she was my own kin. It's been one twist after another, and I tell you, the way she keeps finding little bits of hope in the middle of all that darkness is something special. From the moment Cassius, that fella calling himself Nathan West, locked her away, Jocelyn has been turning over every stone she could find to break free. She's smart, she's brave, and she hasn't given up even when most folks would have crumbled. You can see it in her eyes every time the story cuts to her. She's looking for any crack in the wall, any chance to slip away. It fair breaks your heart to see a young woman like her trapped like that, but at the same time, it fills you with pride because she's not the type to just sit and wait for somebody else to save her. Then came that moment when she thought she was finally about to taste freedom. Lord, I was holding my breath right along with her. But Jen Sidwell showed up and nearly ruined everything in the worst way possible. That man was ready to end it all right then and there, and if Cassius hadn't stepped in when he did, well, I don't even want to think about what could have happened. It's a strange thing, isn't it? Cassius is the one keeping her prisoner, yet he still pulled her back from the brink. Makes you wonder what kind of man he really is underneath it all. I've been mulling that over ever since that episode aired. Even after they dragged her back to that awful place, Jocelyn managed one last quiet, clever move before they locked her down again. In the June 4th episode, she slipped her ring off and left it right there on the floor, plain as day for anybody with eyes to see. That little act gave me such a spark of hope. She's not just surviving, she's leaving a trail, sending out a signal that she's still fighting. Now all she can do is pray that somebody, anybody, stumbles across that ring and starts putting two and two together about where she's being held. It's a small thing, but in stories like this, small things have a way of turning into big breaks. And that's got me wondering out loud, who's going to be the one to spot it? Could be somebody connected to her family who's been searching high and low, or maybe one of those folks from the WSB side who always seem to show up when trouble's brewing. Or perhaps it'll be somebody we least expect, somebody who stumbles on it by accident and suddenly realizes there's more going on than meets the eye. I've been turning over the possibilities in my head ever since that episode ended, and I can't wait to see which way the story turns. Jocelyn's left her mark, and I've got a feeling that ring is going to shake things up in ways none of us saw coming. One possibility that jumped right out at me is Lucas Jones. That man has always been so close to his niece Jocelyn, the kind of uncle who'd notice the little things, like a ring on her finger. I wouldn't be surprised if he was the one who gave it to her in the first place, maybe as a special gift to remind her she's loved and not alone. If Lucas happens to come across that ring now, lying there on the floor, he'd know in a heartbeat that something's terribly wrong. He'd put the pieces together fast, and I can just imagine the worry and determination that would hit him all at once. It would be a real family moment if he's the one who raises the alarm. Then there's Carly Spencer, Jocelyn's mama. That woman has been through more storms than most of us could handle, and her love for her daughter runs deeper than any ocean. If Carly finds that ring, it's going to hit her like a ton of bricks. But knowing Carly, she won't sit around feeling sorry for herself. She'll turn that worry straight into action. She's the kind of mother who'd move heaven and earth to bring her girl home safe. I've always admired that fire in her, and seeing her pick up that clue would remind me why so many of us keep tuning in. She's got heart and grit in equal measure. What makes it even more interesting is the tip Jack Brennan dropped about Carly and Valentin Cassadine needing to look for answers at Windermere. That place has seen more secrets than a locked diary, and if the ring somehow points them in that direction, well, it could be the break they've been waiting for. Maybe the ring isn't just any old piece of jewelry. Maybe it came from Carly herself, or at least it's something Jocelyn cherishes enough to leave behind as a message. Either way, it feels like a thread that could tie everything together. I've been sitting here thinking how that one small act from Jocelyn might just pull the right people into the search. And it gives me real hope that help is closer than we think. I tell you, watching all these possibilities swirl around that ring has me more hooked than ever. Whether it's Lucas's family bond, Carly's fierce mama love, or the mystery waiting at Windermere, something tells me that little clue is about to set off a chain of events nobody's going to forget. Jocelyn's still fighting in her own quiet way, and I'm right here rooting for every single person who might be on their way to find her. It strikes me that Carly could cook up just about any reason under the sun to pay a visit to Windermere, and knowing her, she'd make it sound so natural that nobody would think twice. Maybe she claims she's checking on some old family matter or dropping off a message from somebody who used to live there. The way that woman thinks on her feet has always impressed me. Once she's walking around the grounds, her eyes would be sharp as a hawk's, and if that ring is sitting out in plain sight, I wouldn't put it past her to spot it in a heartbeat. It would be one of those quiet, ordinary moments that suddenly turns everything upside down, and I can already feel the excitement building just thinking about it. What makes the whole idea even more interesting is if Valentin goes along with her, maybe slipping in quiet as a shadow so they can cover more ground together. Those two working as a team feels like a smart move, especially when the stakes are this high. I keep picturing Valentin being the one who bends down and picks up that ring first. He'd know right away it's no ordinary piece of jewelry lying there by accident. Then he'd turn to Carly, hold it out, and ask her straight up if it belongs to Jocelyn. The second she sees it and confirms it's her daughter's, they'd both understand they're finally heading in the right direction. That kind of moment would give them real hope, the kind that keeps you going when everything else looks dark. It warms my heart to think about two people who care so much about Jocelyn putting their heads together like that. Of course, nothing ever goes smooth in a story like this, and Sidwell is making sure of it. Ever since Pascal Levesque managed to slip away from right under his nose, Sidwell has been watching everything and everybody like a hawk. The man has that whole property locked down tighter than I've ever seen, with eyes on every corner and folks checking who comes and goes. It adds a whole extra layer of danger to the plan. If Carly and Valentin try to sneak around too much, they could get caught before they even get a good look at what's there. That's why I keep coming back to the idea that Lucas or Carly might still be the ones with the best shot at finding that ring. They've got natural reasons to be around the family places, and their hearts are in the right spot. Lucas especially, with how close he is to Jocelyn, would notice something like her ring missing or out of place in a second. It's got me thinking a lot about how one small thing like a ring left on the floor can end up meaning so much. Jocelyn must have been scared half to death when she did it, but she still found the courage to leave behind a clue. That tells me she's still fighting in her own way, even when she's locked up and outnumbered. And now that ring might just bring Carly, Valentin, or even Lucas right to the doorstep of where she's being held. I can't help but feel a little proud of her for thinking so quick on her feet. At the same time, my stomach gets all tied up in knots, wondering whether Sidwell's extra security will catch somebody before they can do any good. It's that mix of hope and worry that keeps pulling me back to the screen every day. So friends, if you've been following along like I have, don't you dare miss what comes next. That ring has started something important, and the days ahead are sure to bring more surprises, more heart-stopping moments, and plenty of reasons to keep hoping right along with me. I'll be right here, tuning in every single time, because stories like this remind me why we all fell in love with General Hospital in the first place. Jocelyn's still out there fighting, and I've got every confidence that the people who care about her are about to step up in a big way. Keep watching with me. We're in this together.